Alright, good morning guys. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at our for loops, and then we'll also have a video about the while loops. So I'll just do a quick explanation of these things for you guys. So here's a number of different ways that you can do these for loops. I've got different ways to increment and decrement, then I've used a nested for loop right here. So for this one right here, if we take a look at it, it's the basic for loop that we've learned. It's int a. This is the basic one where you're just doing the basic increment. The increment is a plus plus. Nothing special about it. You can use a plus equals 1, a equals a plus 1 here instead. There's nothing fantastic. I guess the other thing to notice is that I've declared int a inside the for loop, which means you can only read a in the loop. So it's only can be found in these curly brackets. You can't print it out. And we'll see, like down here, I've declared the variable outside the loop, and you can actually print the variable out later. All right, so if we run that, we're going to get that value right there, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this one right here, this for loop is a little bit different. I'm going backwards. I declare my variable to be equal 6. I'm looking to see the variable is greater than 2, and I used a different decrement now. It's not b minus minus. I just decided to try b minus equals 1, so it's going to subtract by 1, and in this case it'll go backwards and it'll print down 6, 5, 4, 3. So what happens? Let's change that to 2 when we run it, and we'll take a look at it over here. This is that line right here. All right, in this case, we've taken a for loop and we've declared a variable outside the loop, int c, and we're going to use that as the condition that we're going to check. So I didn't put int there. Notice that's big. I did not put int there because if you did that, it's like redeclaring the same variable, and that will cause an error. So you can't put int there. C is less than 5. This time I used the plus plus c just to show you that works as well. You can use c plus plus. C plus equals 1 and C equals C plus 1. Either one that you want to do is fine. All right, so that's going to print this out right here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So nothing crazy about that. But then what it's going to do is it is going to print out a line, and then C plus 10 should be 15. So right here, this is a mistake because I don't have a print line right there. So what we got to do is do a system out print line. Those are just giving me space right here. So when I print that again, this is going to print out one space below. All right, and then this is the nested loop where it just prints out 2 columns, an X and a Y. And I've described this in class. If you want me to, I'll go over it real quick because it's easy. It goes through the first part of the loop. Initialize X. It's less than 3. So 0 is less than 3. It's going to go add 1 at the end of the loop. Hits the inner loop, and it has to go through the whole inner loop the number of times that the inner loop runs before it can go back to the outer loop. So it goes through this loop. It goes 1, and then 2, and each time it prints X and Y. Well, X is 0 where we started, and then Y gets incremented. Starts at 0, then goes to 1. As soon as it hits 1 and comes back to the end of the loop, it becomes 2, which is not less than 2, kicks out to the end of the loop, shoots back up, and then X gets incremented to 1, and then it does the same thing, and it goes through the loop one more time. And then that's done with that. Now, so watch this. We'll go ahead and run it. Because of the system.out.println that I put here, this number is going to be printed 1 lower. So we run it. There it is right there. So that's basically different iterations of the for loop. If you want to mess around with this and try to add some stuff like a equals a plus 3, or let's say you want to see what let's decrement by 2, you can actually let's put 3 and see what happens. So that is this line right here. You should get a much different result. So the answer there is, oh, look at that, it just goes 6, 3. So feel free to copy this code down and mess around with it. But these are how basic for loops work. So in a second, I'll put up the while loops.